Gender-based violence in South Africa. Who is responsible? A data-driven analysis. South Africa, a nation renowned for its rich history and cultural diversity, grapples with a pervasive and devastating issue: gender-based violence. Despite progressive laws and policies, the country continues to face alarmingly high rates of violence against women and children. But who is responsible for these crimes? Are foreign nationals the primary perpetrators, or is the problem rooted within the local population?
South Africa is not a safe place for us young women. Women are getting killed every day and no justice is being given.
On the 12th of May 2017, two friends, Poppy and Bongeka, were headed for a night out in Soweto. They hailed a minibus taxi, but after that they weren't heard from again.
Around that time, there's a lot of stories of girls getting killed in Soweto. Going there to identify them, I was very scared.
Poppy and Bongeka had been killed. Two taxi drivers were arrested, but they were later released.
It wasn't a shocker because it's something that we're used to in South Africa. I mean, who gets their justice?
South Africa's femicide rate is 5 times the global average. The case of Poppy and Bongeka is representative of this wider problem of gender-based violence in South Africa.
South Africa is so corrupted because of the police. They're not doing their job. The same men who are supposed to protect us are the same men who are killing us.
Understanding gender-based violence in South Africa. Gender-based violence encompasses a range of harmful behaviors directed at individuals based on their gender. In South Africa, this includes intimate partner violence, assault, femicide, and emotional abuse. The statistics are staggering. According to a 2024 report by the Human Sciences Research Council, over 36% of women have experienced physical violence in their lifetime, with 24% reporting intimate partner violence.
A Christian, she worked against abuse. She helped friends who were in trouble from abuse, and she put herself before other people. She had a heart of gold.
How did you find out that she had died?
6 o'clock in the morning, one of the people working in his house phoned me. He just wanted to phone before I got in the car and started driving, and then it came on the news. He didn't want that to happen to me. And I said, just tell me what's wrong with Reva. And he said, she's been shot. And I said, well, you must tell me now. Is she alive? And he said, no, I'm sorry, she's passed away.
So who commits these crimes? South Africans or foreign nationals? While public perception often attributes gender-based violence to foreign nationals, official data presents a very different picture. A study published in the Journal of Southern African Studies found that South Africans comprise 89.5% of the prison population, compared to foreign nationals at 10.5%. This suggests that the majority of gender-based violence crimes are committed by South African citizens.
A 22-year-old woman named Karabo Mokoena was brutally murdered by her boyfriend Sandile Manso in Johannesburg, South Africa. The relationship, initially promising, descended into a nightmare of abuse and manipulation. Manso, who claimed to be an evangelist turned pastor, was found guilty of beating Mokoena, killing her and burning her body in April 2017. Karabo's remains were discovered in a ditch not far from Manso's mother's house in Lyndhurst, Johannesburg. Her painted toenails were the only means by which the Mokwenas were able to identify her, as her body had been destroyed by a pool of acid and fire. Manso attempted to dispose of Karabo's body using acid, demonstrating the callousness of his actions. Manso maintained that Karabo ended her own life by plunging a knife into her neck, claiming he had panicked and disposed of her body. However, chilling CCTV footage emerged showing Manso disposing of the body, contradicting his version of events. The lead investigator expressed his conviction that Karabo's murder was part of a ritual killing, highlighting the chilling nature of the crime. Despite Manso's attempts to evade accountability, the prosecution built a strong case against him, drawing from witness testimonies, forensic evidence, and digital records. In May 2018, Manso was sentenced to more than 30 years in prison for the murder of Karabo Mokoena.
There are so many high-profile cases of gender-based violence in South Africa. Several high-profile cases have been brought to the national attention. In 2013, 17-year-old Anene Boyson was brutally assaulted and murdered in Bridgersdorp. In 2017, Karabo Mokoena's body was found burned in the open field in Johannesburg. These cases, among others, have sparked widespread outrage and calls for justice.
Lockdown was really horrific when it comes to domestic violence. Due to permits, no one could move around. So even if you wanted to leave your abuser, you couldn't leave because the government would stop you on the road and tell you to go back home. We saw grotesque acts of domestic violence taking place and people really having no options and no support structure that they could go to.
Here in South Africa, more than 2,700 women were murdered last year. That's one woman every 3 hours. Experts say that's just a fraction of what's really going on.
Socioeconomic factors influencing gender-based violence. Experts argue that socioeconomic factors such as poverty, unemployment, and a lack of education are significant contributors to gender-based violence. A study by the University of Witwatersrand found that foreign immigrants do not contribute to increases in serious crimes, including gender-based violence. Xenophobia and its impact. Xenophobia remains a pervasive issue in South Africa. In 2008, violent attacks against foreign nationals led to over 60 deaths and the displacement of thousands. More recently, groups like Operation Dudula have advocated for the deportation of undocumented immigrants, further fueling tensions. Comparing South Africa's gender-based violence rates with other African nations like Nigeria and Zimbabwe reveals that while gender-based violence is a regional concern, South Africa's rates are notably higher. This disparity underscores the complexity of the issue. While foreign nationals may be involved in some gender-based violence cases, they're not the primary drivers of this crisis. Addressing the root causes such as entrenched gender norms, poverty, and inequality is crucial for a meaningful change. By fostering unity and addressing underlying issues, South Africa can pave the way for a safer and more inclusive future. Thank you for giving me your precious time and attention. Before I forget, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.